Number 5. Imagine if Adolf was born in Austria, but in Japan. The year is 1901, in a large house with windows opening onto Zen gardens. Our Adolf was the child of a wealthy family. His father, Hitoshi Hitler, owned one of the largest electronics factories in Japan at the time. A powerful, calculating man with only one weakness: too many enemies. From business rivals to mafia gangs trying to extort him, danger was always close. His mother, on the other hand, was a gentle and emotional woman, with warm hands and eyes that constantly worried about little Adolf. Adolf's first love: not swords, not gangs, not power, but science. While other kids chased kites, Adolf was busy building cameras and engines. His teachers always said, "This boy is going to be a great scientist someday." But, well, fate doesn't always play nice. One rainy night, just as Adolf was excitedly telling his mother about his new project, the news came: "Your father has been attacked, and it wasn't an accident or a heart attack. It was murder. Not just any murder, but a warning from a mafia gang trying to take over his factory." That night, Adolf's old life ended, and a new one began. Depression cast a shadow over him. College dropped, lab locked. That calm, quiet boy turned into a silent, hardened young man wandering the streets. And one day, as he gazed blankly at his father's grave, someone approached him and said, "Want me to give you power?" And that is how Adolf joined the Yakuza. Years passed. He became the right hand of one of the biggest Yakuza bosses. But he never forgot his goal: revenge. One night, he finally got the name of the mafia gang behind his father's murder. Carefully, methodically, and with calculated brutality, he took every last one of them down. And when the final man fell at his feet, Adolf said just one sentence: "Now it is everyone else's turn." From that night on, Adolf started dismantling every mafia in Japan. Wherever there was corruption, force, and blood, his name echoed. People didn't know whether to fear him or applaud him: a hero, maybe a criminal. But like all stories, his too met a bitter end. In a brutal clash between the Yakuza and an old crime syndicate that refused to bow, Adolf was shot. Not once, several times. Yet he fought till the very last breath. When he finally fell, he smiled. He knew he'd done what he had to do. Sometimes, a single rainy night can change a life's path, but not always for the better. Number 4. In 1912, in one of the bustling neighborhoods of Bombay, little Adolf was born. His dad worked at the docks, and his mom washed clothes for wealthy families. Their financial situation, rock bottom, but their hearts, overflowing with love. Adolf didn't have money for school, or even proper clothes, but he had something no one could take from him: rhythm and music in his blood. Every day, after helping his mom with dishes, or giving his dad a hand, he'd hit the streets of Bombay with his friends. He'd sing, dance, spin, clap, laugh. One of those kids who, when he danced, made the whole world disappear. His voice, clear, powerful, full of soul, a hidden gem buried in poverty. One day, right in the middle of a street performance, someone clapped from the back of the crowd. A legend himself, Amitabh Bachchan. He stepped forward and said, "Kid, ever thought about acting?" And just like that, Adolf's world flipped. The next day, he found himself in a studio. He auditioned, landed a small role, then a lead. And soon his name was on every magazine cover. Adolf Hitler, the star born in the back alleys of Bombay. He crushed it in Bollywood, from romantic dramas to action flicks, from laughter to tears. He did it all, but fame always walks with danger. During one action movie, there was a scene where he had to jump off a building. The stuntman didn't show up, so Adolf said he'd do it himself. Cameras rolled a sprint, a leap, and then, silence. The final scene of Adolf's life was captured right there. One fall, one shock, one tear sliding down the cheek of Indian cinema. And that is how a poor boy with a heart full of music became a star whose songs still echo through the streets of Bombay. Sometimes, a single clap in the crowd can change a life forever, and this time, maybe for the better. Number 3. In 1985, in a hot and crowded neighborhood of Rio de Janeiro, little Adolf was born. He got the name Adolf because his grandpa was obsessed with historical documentaries, and apparently, no one realized what a huge mistake that was. His parents didn't live long before the kid could even pronounce mama properly. He was orphaned. So, Adolf didn't grow up with dolls or toys. He grew up with a plastic soccer ball, not even a proper one, but a patched-up ball held together by electrical tape. But his feet, pure magic. By the time he was 12, he was playing with old men on dusty fields, and by the end of the match, they were all hunting for muscle cream. When he turned 17, one coach said, if this kid doesn't get hooked on drugs, he asks going to the World Cup. Should be knocked on wood. Adolf played for several big Brazilian teams. He scored goals, celebrated them with those signature Brazilian dances, like he was playing soccer and performing samba at the same time. At 25, his friends told him, just once, for the energy. Well, the energy shot up, but the sense dropped down. Addiction stuck to him like a top-tier defender and never let go. First, he was benched. Then even the bench said, "Man, it is time you left. No more games, no more training. Just one more hit." A few years later, Adolf went from Brazil's next big star to where is he? Is he even alive? And one day, in a tiny room, surrounded by smoke and memories, he took his last breath. And that is how a poor kid from Rio, who could be made history alongside Neymar and Ronaldinho, became a cautionary tale in every football academy. Sometimes, one small slip can drag a hero into the gutter, especially if you didn't have shoes to begin with. Number 2. In 1942, in a neat little town in Switzerland, baby Adolf was born. No one expected him to change the world, and there were no plans for his name to go down in history. His dad worked at the tax office. His mom was a secretary there too. A completely ordinary family. Not poor, not rich. The height of excitement in their life was making pancakes on Fridays. From the start, he knew what he was going to be, an office worker. After high school, he went to university, then got a job at an insurance company. Not in claims, not even in sales. In the archives, a place where nothing happens, but everything is kept. Life was quietly rolling along until one day in the company lunchroom, he met Lena, a co-worker. Quiet, kind, loved cats. They fell in love, not with fireworks, but with those extra long looks when pouring tea. A while later, they got married. A small ceremony in Lena's mom's backyard. 18 guests and a chocolate cake. Years passed. They had 2 kids, a daughter and a son. Their vacations were limited to Switzerland's lakes, maybe a train ride to France. Their joys, birthday parties with balloons and homemade pizza. Their sorrows, a high electricity bill. Adolf was never a hero. He didn't write a book, didn't invent anything, and no one was ever scared of him. But he always had one thing, peace. When he turned 80, he sat on his porch chair, listened to the birds, and quietly, just like that, he was gone. Sometimes, being a hero means not doing anything that makes people fear you. Just being that good person who sleeps well every night. You don't always have to change the world. Sometimes, it has enough just not to mess it up. Number 1.